Fraud and scam. Fraud is lying to take someone's money or assets. Scams can range from fake investment opportunities to that email claiming a prince left you an inheritance. At its heart, it's lying for profit. Scammers play with emotions, fear, greed, urgency. Some tell you your bank account is at risk. Others insist you need to pay immediately or you'll lose everything. They thrive on panic and poor judgment. Imagine someone convincing you that your car's warranty is about to expire when you don't even own a car. That's a scam. Or the text message claiming your package is stuck until you pay a small fee. The short-term reward for the scammer is easy cash. The long-term result? Police, prosecution, and a future full of courtrooms. Typical prison sentence, 5 to 20 years. Charles Ponzi, the man behind the original Ponzi scheme, was jailed for mail fraud in the 1920s. More recently, Elizabeth Holmes was sentenced to 11 years for fraud related to Theranos. Insurance fraud. Insurance exists to protect people in tough times. Insurance fraud twists that idea. It's pretending to suffer a loss you never had or exaggerating one you did. Some fake injuries and drag them out for months. Others stage accidents, suddenly hitting the brakes to force another car to crash into them. Still others set their old house or car on fire and cry, "Stolen!" The payout might look like free money, but insurers don't just hand over checks. They investigate. Fraud units have teams that track patterns, interview witnesses, and analyze claims with software. Getting caught means repaying money, losing coverage, facing fines, and serving prison time. Typical prison sentence, 5 to 15 years. John Darwin, known as the Canoe Man, faked his death in 2002 for life insurance. He was caught and sentenced to over 6 years. Pyramid/Ponzi schemes. These schemes promise riches if you just bring in new recruits. Early investors may get paid, but only because fresh money keeps flowing in. Eventually, the pyramid collapses, and most people lose everything. The principle is simple. New money props up old promises. When recruitment slows, the entire tower falls like dominoes. If you've ever been invited to a business opportunity where the focus is on signing up your friends instead of selling real products, you've seen a pyramid in disguise. It may look like entrepreneurship, but it's built on sand. Typical prison sentence, 10 to 25 years for organizers. Bernie Madoff, who ran the largest Ponzi scheme in history, was sentenced to 150 years in prison. Embezzlement/insider theft. This is stealing from the inside. Employees, accountants, or managers secretly siphon money from the organizations they're supposed to protect. The principle is access. Someone trusted with money decides to take advantage of that trust. It may start with borrowing a little, promising themselves they'll return it. Then the habit grows. Picture the office cashier pocketing small amounts daily, or a CEO rerouting millions into a private account. The temptation might be strong when you're surrounded by funds, but the betrayal cuts deep. Colleagues feel shocked, communities lose faith, and the courts rarely show mercy. Typical prison sentence, 5 to 20 years. Rita Crundwell, a city comptroller in Illinois, embezzled over $53 million. She was sentenced to nearly 20 years in 2013. Corruption and bribery. Corruption is when people in power sell their influence. Bribery is paying or receiving money to bend rules. Together, they rot trust in governments, businesses, and communities. It can be as small as slipping a bill to avoid a ticket, or as large as selling government contracts to the highest bidder. Shortcuts seem tempting, but they erode fairness and make entire systems crumble. When corruption is exposed, reputations fall fast. Once your name is tied to bribery, you're remembered less for your achievements and more for your betrayal. Rod Blagojevich, former governor of Illinois, was sentenced to 14 years for corruption and bribery. Money laundering. Money laundering is cleaning dirty money so it looks legitimate. Criminals funnel illegal profits through businesses or transactions to hide the source. It's like washing mud-stained clothes, except the mud is criminal cash and the washing machine is a fake restaurant, shell company, or art gallery. On the surface, it looks normal. Beneath, it hides crime. Authorities track suspicious transactions, seize assets, and press charges. Getting caught means watching your flashy house, cars, and bank accounts vanish into government property. Typical prison sentence, 10 to 20 years. Pablo Escobar's Medellin cartel laundered billions through front companies. Many lieutenants were jailed worldwide for laundering-related charges. Counterfeiting. Counterfeiting is making fake versions of things that should be real. Money, passports, luxury handbags. It tricks people into paying for a worthless imitation. Think of fake sneakers that fall apart after a week, or phony bills that look fine until a cashier holds them to the light. Counterfeiting undermines economies, hurts brands, and leaves consumers angry. Fake currency is treated especially harshly. It attacks trust in the financial system. Typical prison sentence, up to 20 years. Art Williams Jr., called King of Counterfeiters, made millions in fake bills in the U.S. He was arrested in the 1990s and served over 7 years. Drug trafficking. Drug trafficking is one of the oldest and most dangerous illegal trades. It's the production, transport, and sale of substances that governments ban. It generates billions, fuels organized crime, and spreads addiction. For every glamorized TV cartel, real communities suffer from violence, corruption, and broken families. Governments treat traffickers as high-priority targets. Once caught, they rarely escape harsh sentencing. Typical prison sentence, 10 years to life. Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, leader of Mexico's Sinaloa cartel, was sentenced in 2019 to life in prison plus 30 years. Human trafficking/exploitation. Perhaps the darkest trade of all, human trafficking is selling, transporting, or exploiting people against their will for labor, sex, or profit. Victims lose freedom, dignity, and safety. Communities suffer. Governments across the world treat it as one of the worst possible crimes. Typical prison sentence, 15 years to life. Keith Raniere, leader of the NXIVM cult, was sentenced to 120 years in prison for sex trafficking and racketeering. Arms trafficking. This is the illegal trade in weapons. From handguns to missiles, traffickers supply guns to gangs, militias, or anyone willing to pay. Illegal arms make conflicts bloodier and neighborhoods more dangerous. Governments see arms trafficking as a direct threat to security. Arrests often involve international task forces. Typical prison sentence, 10 to 25 years. Victor Bout, nicknamed the Merchant of Death, was convicted in 2011 for conspiring to sell arms to terrorists and sentenced to 25 years. Bootlegging and black market distribution. Bootlegging once meant smuggling alcohol during Prohibition. Today, it's selling anything banned, restricted, or untaxed. Cigarettes, medicines, rare alcohol all find their way into black markets. It may feel small scale, like buying untaxed liquor from a neighbor, but across countries it robs billions in tax money, encourages unsafe products, and funds organized crime. Typical prison sentence, 3 to 10 years. During U.S. Prohibition, Al Capone made millions bootlegging alcohol. He was eventually jailed in 1931 for tax evasion, serving 11 years. Extortion and protection rackets. Extortion is demanding money through threats. Protection rackets are classic mob tactics. Pay us and nothing bad will happen to your business. It's intimidation packaged as business. Victims live in fear, communities lose trust, and businesses collapse under pressure. Typical prison sentence, 10 to 20 years. John Gotti, boss of the Gambino crime family in New York, was convicted in 1992 of multiple charges, including extortion. He was sentenced to life in prison. And there you have it, 12 illegal ways people try to make money in 2025, the prison time they risk, and the infamous figures who prove that crime catches up with you. Quick profit may sparkle, but it usually ends in handcuffs. For more clear, bite-sized explainers, hit subscribe and join us for the next deep dive.